Curtin University's Dean of Global Futures, Joe Siracusa. Professor, good to see you. So will this $60 billion US in aid change the direction of the war in Ukraine? And does it take pressure off Australia to provide further Ukraine aid, or does it put on the pressure?
Good morning, Kenny. I'm afraid $61 billion won't change the direction of the way the war is going in Ukraine. Look, Ukraine is going to lose this war. It's a nation, started out as a nation of 44 million people. 10 million people went to different countries to hang out. And, Russia is 149 million people in 11 time zones. They were never going to beat them. They're just never going to beat them that way. And so they did the best they could. They fight very heroically. We all know Ukrainians do that kind of thing. And I think the American Congress has come up with this a massive amount of monies in order to sort of salve their consciences a little bit and to avoid the claims around election time that who lost Ukraine, whether it was the Democrats or the Republicans. But I think it's, we really should be spending a little more time on some kind of diplomatic solution and stop the killing. The Ukrainians are losing about 30,000 men a month, and that's the problem, Kenny. They've run out of manpower. I mean, they're having trouble recruiting. The average age of the soldier in Ukraine is 43 years old, for goodness sake. And the Russians have come up with 500,000 recruits this year. The Ukrainians cannot. It's just a matter of statistics now and probability. I mean, Ukraine is going to lose the war. They'll still be able to retain a large part of their country. But I think the American government has come a little too late to this. Should have come a little earlier. And same thing with the Israelis. I mean, Netanyahu's been behaving very badly for the last 6 months, and he was rewarded with a $26 billion package, sanctions from the G7. And so he called it on Israeli television a victory for Western civilization. I'm sure there are a lot of Israelis who would disagree with that. But look, the package was very generous, but it comes too late. And I think the damage is done. And I think Biden would like to run out the clock. That is, he'd like to hold off any capitulation till after the election is over.
Tomorrow, the New York Trump trial begins. What are you expecting? And in particular, how does this affect his campaign for the White House?
Well, I mean, as you know, it isn't going to hurt the regular Trump base, as a matter of fact. This whole thing has struck me as sort of absurd. They're saying that he tried to cook the books on paying off this beautiful porn star in 2016. Donald Trump he's in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. I mean, having an affair with a porn star wasn't going to exactly hurt his reputation with the people who were going to vote for him anyway. But look, I think we got something going on here we can't quite see, Kenny, and that's the sleaze factor. There's a lot of good Americans, good evangelicals, and others, including young Latinos and blacks and a lot of young people who are turning towards Trump. And they're going to sort of ignore this because they know in America you could probably be charged with things that you shouldn't be charged with. And it's quite obvious to anybody that the charges are politically motivated, even though they may have some basis in truth. I don't think it's going to hurt him too much. But, I've been saying, I don't know who disagrees with me with this, but I think as long as Melania holds out, I think Trump's got a chance here. She disappears. I mean, if she has to go on the stand, or Barron does, or something like that. If it gets too embarrassing, I think Trump would fall apart on this one. But look, he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. New Yorkers are determined to convict him. He'd probably get probation. I can't see the 45th president of the United States lining up in the canteen in a jail with an orange jumpsuit on, waiting for his breakfast. I mean, it's not going to happen because there's really no room for the Secret Service in prisons as well, Ken.
Yeah. Well, appreciate your time. We better leave it there, Joe, because we've got to get to the next program. But good to see you, Professor. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.